Hello, everybody. I hope all is going well with you. Today, we're going to talk again about the word of life, how life works. So please, please, please take the time to pay attention to this video. I'll try to make it short. A lot of times my videos are kind of lengthy and everybody just kind of wants to swipe by. But I'm telling you, this is not time wasted. We're going to get into some heavy stuff that'll help you understand how to choose life over death. Now, some people never even know they've got a choice, but I'm telling you, you have a choice. And all we have to do is learn to flip this choice of death around, change the way we think about life and change the way we think about death so we can change the result. So over here in Acts chapter 26, I speak on these scriptures quite often in my teachings because this is where Paul had his conversion. He turned his life around, his whole mission. He finally saw his purpose. And many people out that are watching me today, you don't know what your purpose is. Well, I'm going to tell you in a nutshell what your purpose is. And it's simply this: to bring God's life to this earth, to help people see that they can live and not die. That's your purpose. And that's why we're reaching for so many other things and we seem to fall short of that glory. It never satisfies us. So we hit midlife crisis, we got to, figure out, what new car can we buy? What new girlfriend can we get to try to keep some kind of joy going in our life? And come to find out, all that stuff falls short. So let's go over here to, like I said, Acts chapter 26, and let's start reading. Let's go at verse 13. At midday, O king, I saw in a way a light from heaven. So Paul is beginning to explain to King Agrippa what exactly happened and to show us this conversion. He said, I saw in a way a light from heaven above the brightness of the sun shining round about me and them which journeyed with me. And when we were all fallen to the earth, I heard a voice speaking unto me, and saying in the Hebrew tongue, Saul, Saul, why persecutest thou me? Is it hard for thee to kick against the pricks? And I said, Who art thou, Lord? And he said, I am Jesus, whom thou persecutest. But rise and stand upon thy feet, for I have appeared unto thee for this purpose. So now, oh yes, I believe Paul. I believe his writings. He wrote 2/3 of the New Testament. I'm going to follow Paul. Well, what was Paul's purpose? Paul's purpose is the same as your purpose. That's the reason he says right here, Rise, stand upon thy feet, for I have appeared unto thee for this purpose, to make thee a minister and a witness, both of these things which thou hast seen, and of those things in which I will appear unto thee, delivering thee from the people and from the Gentiles unto whom now I send thee, to open their eyes, to turn them from darkness to light, and from the power of Satan unto God, that they may receive forgiveness of sins and inheritance among them which are sanctified by faith that is in me. So the whole purpose for why Paul had that vision was to open up the eyes of people who were in darkness. They were blinded. They couldn't see, didn't know their purpose, didn't know who they were, why they were on the earth. Everybody's just going about their day, doing their thing. They did the same thing back then we're doing today. We just have a different technology, but they did the same thing, had their schedules, their obligations, their family, and try to meet up the standards and the social life and all that stuff. They had fun, they partied, they had serious times, tough times, they had fun time, the same as we have today. But the purpose they had to discover, Paul had to, and then Paul had to go tell them. He said, you got to open up their eyes, which means, hey, they're blinded. They can't see. Well, what could they not see? They couldn't see the light. God says that the light is the life of men. People could not see life back then either. All they experienced was their schedules and the same old mundane routines over and over and over again. They had no life. They everything they did, they prepared for death the same way we do. We work, get up, you go through your day, you get a job or you get an education for the sole purpose of meeting your needs so you can enjoy your life as long as you have it. No guarantee how long it's going to be. Preachers will tell you that. It's appointed unto men once to die, and after this, the judgment. So you better do what you can to please God. Have fun, do your job, take care, but you need to please God and all that. But we're still just going about this day as if, and the week, and trying to somehow satisfy something that's in the core of man. It's in their heart. It's like they're always groping in the darkness, trying to find the light. But Paul said he saw the light. He saw his purpose. His purpose was told to him to open up their eyes, go into it. I'm delivering you from the people. Meaning the same thing that the people is they're bound by, all this lack, all this lack of understanding, all the frustration. I'm delivering you from that. How was he going to do that? By giving him understanding of his purpose, by giving him a way to see life so that he could apprehend it. Nobody knew what life was. Paul was in the business of killing Christians. That's what he did. He was a Pharisee of Pharisee. But he was out there destroying anybody that was going against, what God had said was the truth. And yet the truth was blinding people. So Paul said he saw the light. The entrance of the word gives light. The light is the life of men. So he saw the connection. He said, God wants men to live. Now, Paul himself struggled with it because he had nobody teaching him how to do it. So he still fell short of that glory, that life of how to actually implement it for his own life so that death wouldn't touch him. But we're in a whole different category here. We have got abundance of revelation. We got Paul's revelation. We got what Peter saw. We got what Jesus saw. We got all these writings. We've got people discovering things about themselves. We got science. We got all kinds of stuff that we have that's proving to man that there is a life greater than what we have experienced, and they're trying to stretch for it. Well, God is saying this life is within you. It's called the kingdom, but nobody's aware of it. So somebody has to open up their eyes. Someone has to see it first, know that it's true, and then have a conviction to get that truth to the people. Well, that's who I am. Now, I haven't mastered life. I told my family, and I tell them all the time, until we prove life, we're all going to die. Well, what do we do? Just accept death? No, we keep pressing towards understanding how the mechanics of the law of the spirit of life work, the same way that the Wright brothers had to keep moving forward until they understand how the law of lift and thrust work. God's given us a body. They had to build the plane, but God has given us a body by which to prove this law. But we have to be made aware of the law so we can use the body to make the proper adjustments so that life within us can begin to be manifested. The body can be used to express the very life of God the same way the plane was used to express the law of lift and thrust. But somebody had to get the knowledge of lift and thrust the same way we have to get the knowledge of how life works. So we have to do that. Well, as I've been on this journey, I have seen that God is more like the laws. His word is more like law, not thou shalt not and this and that. I'm talking about it's like law, like gravity. You drop something, the law takes over. When you believe in your heart and confess with your mouth what God says, the law takes over. Your part's done. You just let the law be the law. So if we can start talking like we have life, then the law, the spirit of life, will take over and make it happen. But we don't know it. We're not consciously aware of it. Our conversation is so much locked in death that that's all it can produce. So I'm telling you right now, if we go back, study what Paul said, study what he saw in Romans chapter 7 and Romans chapter 8. This is the law of the spirit of life, but we have to hear it from someone. Faith comes by hearing. Faith lays hold on eternal life. Faith comes by hearing words, right? Whoever finds my word has found their life. So we need somebody that gets the word of life to preach the life so that people can hear the life, have faith for the life, faith will lay hold onto that life, and then life will begin to work in them and they'll become an expression of it. Sickness and disease leave. No amount of money you give to the church is ever going to get you healed. It's never going to save your life. The yards are full. Them cemeteries are full of people that have believed God, and I just believe in the church and I believe in what God says about me and all that. But they really didn't. They didn't know. They believed that God would bless them and God would, care for them. And I've had a good life. But they didn't know how to believe that God didn't want you to die. And that's what I'm trying to get over to people. God doesn't want you to die. I want you to think about that. God doesn't have a death sentence on you. It's appointed unto men once to die, and then after that, the judgment. That's what the preachers say. Yeah, but Jesus died, took the judgment of that sin, and said, now I've come to give you life. Now stop receiving death, receive life. That's receiving the word of life, the word that Jesus came to give us. For God sent his word. He sent his word. What word? The word of life. And if we would receive it, we would not die. We'd begin to experience life in greater measure. That might start off step by step, little step here, little step there. But once we get so immersed in it that we just get death out of the way, it's not even a thought anymore. Life starts showing up and giving us the thoughts of the potential of what a son of God, which is you and me, really can do. The word is the son, the offspring of God. But when it abides in us, we get to express the life of the son, which is the word of life. So please think about this today. If I could, man, I tell you what, I wish I could just control everybody's attention and just get it on this thing so they could hear it enough to where they'd start wondering, is this possibly true? Because it opens up a whole nother door of your potential. Please do that today. Thank you so much. Until we meet again, I'm Adam King. Bye-bye.